Hello, thank you for joining me today. I am going to be comparing three different mascaras that I hear a lot about. So I'm going to do the Too Faced Better Than Sex, Kush, or Milk Makeup Kush, and then the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. Okay, so let's get started and talk about the price point first. Okay, so the Kush and the Too Faced, those both, the full sizes are $24. The full size of L'Oreal Lash Paradise is $9.99 at Ulta. The minis of these, this is the size that I have of the minis. The minis are $12. So you can get a full size L'Oreal for cheaper than the minis of these. So let's see, is it worth the price on these? Okay, I'm going to start with the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara. Here's how it looks. And like I said, the mini is $12. At Sephora, the full size is $24. They are cruelty-free, paraben, vegan, and they're also gluten-free. And this one I did find was the easiest to remove. Now, Too Faced is also cruelty-free, so the L'Oreal Lash Paradise is not cruelty-free. So if that is, depending on where you rank with that, just know that L'Oreal is the only one that's not cruelty-free. Okay, so both these Too Faced and Milk is cruelty-free, and both are vegan. Okay, so like I said, that this was the easiest one to remove, but I also found that this was the only one, for me personally, it did smudge really easy. I liked how it applied, I liked how my lashes looked, but within a couple hours, I was underneath my eye, and I even tried to just do it to my top lashes and not use it on my bottom lashes, and it still had the same effect for me. It smudged, and by the end of the day, I kind of looked like raccoon eyes. So for that, I will not repurchase this. I just wasn't for me. And I will compare the brush sizes after we're done talking about all of them. Okay, then for the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and again, all these are non-waterproof. I do not usually wear waterproof makeup. I don't go swimming or anything like that, so they're all the same type formula as far as non-waterproof. Now this one, I did find that I liked how it applied. It took a little bit more to remove it at the end of the night than the Milk one, but I did last a long time and it did not smudge on me. So I liked that one. In the Lash Paradise, this one, I will say it probably takes the most to remove it at the end of the night. I went through the most cotton balls and stuff, but it did last the longest and it did without smudging. But it does dry out quicker, I found, than the Too Faced. So I feel like the Kush mascara, that one's out for me. So it's really, for me personally, between the Lash Paradise and the Better Than Sex. So to just kind of compare these two, not the L'Oreal is in this hand, the Too Faced is in this hand. Not cruelty-free, cruelty-free. Neither one of them smudges for me. They both dry out fairly quickly. The Lash Paradise, I feel like you will have to replace it quicker than you'd probably have to replace the Too Faced. They both, let's see, L'Oreal does not have a shelf life on it. The Too Faced one says it's a 6-month shelf life after you open it. And I felt like they both added volume and gave me length. And let's see if you can tell. So I'll look straight into the camera. On this eye, I have Lash Paradise, and on this eye, I have Too Faced. So I'll just kind of hold them up like this. So for me personally, I feel like and I curled my lashes the same on both eyes. I do think that for the bottom lashes, I do like how this one looks a little bit better. I feel like this one kind of clumped a little bit. But as far as my top lashes, I feel like the L'Oreal lengthened a little bit more. Kind of close my eyes. Look from the side. So I feel like there isn't a huge difference between them for the price point. And you might have to replace the L'Oreal a little bit sooner, but I think for the price point, I don't think that the Too Faced is going to last that much longer. So for me personally, again, here's how they look on. Since neither one of them smudged for me, both of them were kind of, you know, took a little bit to get off. I mean, I didn't feel like I had to scrub my eyes or anything, but I personally, this is my second tube of the L'Oreal, and if the Too Faced, you know, if I'm able to get a sample in a promo or something like that, I definitely would be happy to get a promo or a sample and use it that way, but I wouldn't seek this one out and repurchase, just because the price point, I feel like I don't really see that much of a payoff for it. Okay, so now I will say that the Lash Paradise one, it does get a little bit messier right here. You can kind of see that it's like more of a clumping maybe. I don't know if you can see it, but it does clump around there more than the Better Than Sex. Like it doesn't get around there at all. So if that does bother you, then maybe this wouldn't be for you. And it does, if you just pulled it right out and applied it, I think that you would get clumpiness. So I like to do that with it, and then I will take, if this gets too messy, I'll take a tissue and wipe that off. So you can kind of see, you do have to kind of clean it up quite a bit. Where this one, you can just pull it out and use it. So you kind of have to weigh if that bugs you, that you have to kind of clean this one off more, so where this one, it doesn't clump around the opening. Okay, so let's see if I can get them. Here's the two brushes. So I think that they're pretty similar. The Too Faced kind of goes, it's a little thicker on each end and then goes a little narrow on the inside, where the Lash Paradise is kind of the same across the whole brush. So that is that. Just put these back. So yeah, you want to make sure that you have the cap on really, well, of course with any mascara, but really good with the Lash Paradise, because it will dry out even quicker if you don't. So there we go. So I hope I made that clear. Like this, when I apply it, I find that they don't really see that much different. This one, you know, does get messier around there, and you have to kind of clean it off. So here's the Cush brush, and let me just compare again. Okay, so we have the Too Faced on top and the Cush on the bottom. So you can see that, I feel like here you can definitely see that the Too Faced has a little bit more of a shape. The Cush is just more rounder and then kind of tapers off at the end. And then we'll compare it to Lash Paradise. Guess I didn't need to put it all the way on yet. Okay. So yeah, there definitely is a little bit of a different shape with the Cush. So I really think that mascaras definitely are a personal thing. On how they wear on people's eyes, and you know, maybe if you wear contacts or you don't wear contacts, or I think there's more to it than, you know, I really think that, I guess what I'm saying is that you really have to try them, I think, for yourself and see what you like. So my ultimate kind of finding out is that I will repurchase the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, because I feel like I don't really get that much more length or volume from the other two for the price point. But it does, you have to replace it. I don't know about how many months, probably about like 6 months. So it might be the same as what they recommend for Too Faced. It's just that it doesn't, the Too Faced doesn't dry out quite as much, but 6 months is what they recommend. So I would say L'Oreal Lash Paradise would be number 1, Too Faced Better Than Sex number 2, and the Milk Cush would be my number 3. So I hope that you found this helpful. I'd love to know down below what mascaras are your favorites, and if you agree with my ranking, or if you see it differently for you. Again, thanks for watching. If you like this, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next week. Bye.